3. Here we are, room at the Encore at the Wynn. Of course, you have your touch controls, lights all on, or they'll dim. Adjoining door. Very sizable mirror here. Let's get a little wider angle so you can see that. As you walk in, nice double door closet, lighted with drawers. And the safe where we keep all the big lootskis. Look at all that oh wait, I don't have any money. Nice, you got some drawers for storage. It's lighted, like I said. The last place I was at did not have a light. I could not see anything. And let's show you the bathroom. Very nice bathroom, shower, and a lot of places are getting rid of the amenities that are just refilling. This is kind of smaller, so I believe you could take those with. And yeah, they do have soap here. Soaking tub, some nice art on the wall. Another soap here. And we got your usual lotions and shower caps and shoe polish and cotton swabs, and another soap here on the double sink. And then there is a TV. It's Christmas, so of course everyone sees 24 Hours of Christmas Story. Beautiful bathroom. Bath mats. They even put a scale. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, depending on how you feel about eating on vacation. Nice robes. And the doors, everything at Encore here is done really well. Of course, Steve Wynn is not a part of it anymore, but he's the one who built this. Very cool the way they have this like lamp in the little bathroom. And then they have a neat little thing. So when you turn the lights off, you can turn on a night light so that you don't trip in the middle of the night when you come in here. And you could have that light on and off if you want. But that is a very cool addition. Back out into this gigantic mirror. They always say floor to ceiling mirror or whatever. I notice a lot of YouTubers complain because the mirrors are cut short. Just a little trick. I'm 6'2". See my feet down there? It doesn't matter if the mirror goes to the floor or not, as long as you can see your feet. That only matters if you're down here and the mirror stops up here, which doesn't seem to be a problem for most people. So, doesn't need to go to the ground, but this one almost does, which is very nice. Into the bedroom, we have this, I guess you would call this a credenza. Your usuals. Look how they spell Encore in the packages. Now, I got upgraded and they said I could have some goodies comped, which is great because they're usually very expensive. I brought some water and little slide out trays, which is very nice. And of course, I knew that was going to happen when they fall over. Here is the fridge, and I did not take that stuff out of here, so I hope I don't get charged for that. But here's the usuals. And there is no extra fridge, which that kind of stinks because like I brought my waters, I won't be able to refrigerate those, and sometimes leftovers, goodies and whatnot. I had some tiramisu the other night. Here's the bedroom, primary bedroom, as they call it. Very nice. Everything is controlled with this touchpad. So if you go to room controls, lights, you can go to the lights and you can turn them on low and watch, they'll dim down. Even in the hallways, they dim down. Very cool. And everything is controlled. This back to all on. Gonna get bright again. Very cool. Okay. Drapes, you have shears and drapes. Controls, and then you have this little work desk if you're sitting next to the bed or food, whatever. Your usual drawer, Bible. The controls are hidden. I like when they do this. for your plugs and your USBs and your outlets. Just a hint, a lot of people say in airports and things don't use those because there could be something in there malicious. I would add the plug that you get or you buy with your phone, iPhone, whatever. Usual storage drawers here. Neat thing about this TV, it moves. You can turn it and spin it all the way around to the living room, which we'll get to in a minute. So you can do that however you'd like. Same here. Usual, this pulls out the plugs, lamps, really cool on the wall there. The art is nice. And then we go into the living room. Alexa, open the shears.
Okay.
Cute little toys. And then, yeah, as I said, you can turn the TV around into this room. Nice couch with a chaise, Wynn magazine, know what's going on. And they put lights up there. It's pretty cool. Alexa, dim the lights.
Okay.
And she dims the light. That's pretty cool. So you can use the iPad, as I showed, in here to dim the lights, or the drapes, or you could use Alexa. Alexa, close the drapes and the blinds and the shears.
Sorry, I didn't find a group or device named drapes, blinds, shears.
Close the drapes. Alexa, close the drapes.
Okay.
We'll learn together. Now, just a tip. I tugged on them earlier to get out of the way so I could take some pictures, and they started moving. So I guess if you force them, they just automatically move. Now here's what this looks like. So let's see if we can get this to work. I was trying to get a view, but if you know, when you have all the lights on, there's a glare, so you can't see outside. And here we go. There's Resorts World, which I've stayed before. You can see my video on my channel. You can also find my Fontainebleau video. I've stayed there before. You can find that on my channel. And this is the north end of the strip, Circus. You can kind of see the bend of the building. The lights down there are really cool. They do a really good job here at Encore or Wynn. There's Westgate out in the distance. Excuse me, a lot of glare. So now I'm stuck back here. Okay. Alexa, open the drapes.
Okay.
That's cool. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 47 degrees.
And I'm from Chicago, if you follow me, so it's a lot warmer here than it is in Chicago. I've been here filming a movie and some other projects, getting done, visiting family. So I've been here for about a week, just moved over to Encore. And I went wandering around the resort. Here is a really neat area where on both sides they have these curved escalators, which are something you don't often see. If you look through that glass there, that's what they call the aft cocktail deck at Wynn, outdoor lakeside bar. It's called the Lake of Dreams. You can sit by the water and view the show that they have. They didn't have it, I think, this night because it was raining. Then there's that little bar you just saw there was called Bar Parasol, if you want to just sit inside. Here's a nice little area they had decorated up. Looks a lot like Bellagio, which Steve Wynn also built, but obviously not as extravagant. As you walk through here, they decorate it with flowers, fresh flowers. I don't know how they keep up with it. It looks like a lot of work, but it's beautiful. You walk to the back over here. Here's one of the restaurants, Sinatra. Of course, it's Vegas, Sinatra. You like Vegas, you like old Vegas, you like Sinatra, you like Italian. You go here, check it out. I did not eat here, but it is definitely on my list of places to try next time. I scanned through these menus. I know it's kind of quick. You can pause and take a better look if you want, but I just kind of wanted to give you a overall of some of the restaurants here. And over here you can see Casa Playa, Mexican. Really cool the way they decorate some of these places. I just took a quick walk through to kind of give an idea. This place looks like it has quite the tequila selection. If you're into tequila, Again, I didn't eat here, but I just kind of wanted to poke around. Definitely want to check it out. I can only eat so many places on one trip, but wanted to kind of give everybody an idea of what's here. And there's Wazuzu if you're into sushi and sashimi and fried rice and dim sum and all that good stuff. Another cool entrance. All these places have really cool entrances, and they're all right off the main casino. And there is a different casino at Encore and at Wynn, which a lot of people think they're the same. And here is the spot, which you're not allowed to film in. I found out the second I rolled around this corner and saw people, and whoa, okay, that dropped my phone. So that's all you get there. And they have the McLaren store at the Wynn. If you're a McLaren or an F1 fan, especially McLaren in this case, they did well this year. I didn't go to the F1 Vegas race this year. I went last year, but it's something to see cars going down the strip if you have not seen, because normally they race on tracks. They usually don't race on streets. So they spent a lot of money building this out. There's been a lot of commotion with the residents and the locals. But again, this store's here. Almost everything is for sale. If you see something and you're interested in it, just ask somebody, including this car right here is a replica. Everything has a price, as they say, replica 88 Senna McLaren. All the clothes and merch is obviously for sale, but even the helmets in the glass cases, I don't remember if they had any prices on these, but they're all either, I don't know if they're authentic or replicas, but actually I think they did have prices. I just couldn't make them out with the camera. But again, something to check out if you're interested. And they actually have a McLaren in the middle of the store. Next, I headed over to Delilah's. Especially being an actor, I had to check this place out. I guess the original's in Hollywood, and of course they have Hollywood-themed drinks. But there's one, I believe, in Miami and Texas, and of course here in Vegas. This is the first time I had been to any of them, so I wanted to check it out. If you look and see the drinks, Film Noir, that was the drink I actually had. Everything's Hollywood themed. It's kind of like an old Hollywood, I believe. I was thinking Roaring 20s, but I guess it's 50s themed, where supper club style. The girls come up and dance on the platforms every so often with the feathers and the outfits, and then the band constantly changes depending on the night. The band will sing for a while, then they'll stop, then they'll go to music, then they'll go back to the band, and time again, actually the singer ended up sitting here, I believe it was with her manager for a while, eating at the bar next to me, because this bar is in this main area, or you can obviously have the seats in the outer areas if you have reservations, but I was by myself, so just popped in. For the desserts, they have a bigger list of desserts, but I wanted to point out, yeah, that's a $95 dessert called Monkey Business. It says it serves 3 to 4. Resorts World. Trying to hide the glare over here. Found Blue in the distance. We stayed there before. You can check my video for that. Whoa, I just moved the shades and now they're closing. That was crazy. Okay. So now I'm stuck behind the shades. I just moved them and they closed. Okay, so where's the button to open them?